I'm Zach. I missed my cute towers.
Listen, I'm Kelsey hates gay people, darragh. Happy Pride Month.
You're also petting a hairless Leo.
I was petting a hairless. Kelsey does this wretched thing where she shaves the bodies of her cats.
Listen, if you owned cats, you would know. In the summer, they shed like caresse. I have allergies. They're lucky they live in a house. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm going to shave them down a little bit, we're going to shave them down. Hey, not great.
Don't Google it.
Bing bong. If you're tuning in, it's probably because you were here last week when I announced my pregnancy, and this week I've announced my abortion.
Bing bong, dead baby.
Oh, Zach. Got it out of the way.
It's like
we get them all out of the way.
I couldn't possibly. I would never make light
of an abortion
of your
Heavy.
brief stint as a pregnant woman.
Yeah. I have no idea how the episode did last week of announcing my pregnancy and getting an abortion because it hasn't come out yet. But assuming there was a lot of questions, all nothing but support, baby.
Yeah.
Nothing but good comments.
Maybe it's on like the cover of People magazine. Podcaster, documentary filmmaker, and all-around slut, Kelsey darragh.
My
decides
sister
to get
did
abortion.
say that last week's episode was the biggest, like probably the biggest podcast episode we've done, like announcement.
Wait,
all
are we
the
doing
years.
the prediction thing?
What's that?
Where we predict
No.
what happened?
No. My sister was like, your episode coming out is going to be the biggest one you've done.
Yeah.
So we got to prep for that, social wise. Make sure we have enough. I did film it sounds so weird when I say it, but like I did film the process of having like the day of abortion. Like,
Are you
going to
do a TikTok?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's really good.
I think it's important. Again, we're here to normalize it. We're here to remember that abortion is healthcare.
Yes.
And we believe on this podcast that women should make choices about their bodies as they see fit. So we're going to talk a little bit about the abor-bor, as I've been calling it. And then also, if you're watching on youtube.com/Kelsey darragh, you see this giant book.
Oh, you're addicted to this.
I am addicted to this book, which is Evie. We had them on the podcast a few years ago. They made a book of 100 fucked up facts about the gender health gap. And I could not believe my eyeballs when I was reading some of this. So we're going to go over some of that.
I can't wait.
You're going to learn this episode.
But also, like, as a man,
Yeah.
I really don't need to care.
You don't need to know this. I will say the last 2 episodes have had no place in your life. Like pregnancy and abortion. Never have to deal with that.
Not at all. You know, honestly, the gay equivalent to that when I was in my teens and 20s was HIV. And it was like, well, I'm just saying, like, you guys worry about getting pregnant. We worry about getting HIV.
But you feel still a scare, a worry?
No, not at all. Because almost everyone's on PrEP, which is like a birth control for HIV, basically. And then it's also nowhere near the complicated, health diagnosis that it used to be.
Yes. So
Now,
like controlling symptoms,
yes, it's like
medication.
easy to become undetectable, and undetectable means untransmittable. But when obviously I was a kid of the 90s, like that's like AIDS.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people were terrified, and
Yeah.
that seeped down into
Yeah.
my life, as a young,
Right.
horny man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess like where's the best place to start is just like how everything goes, how everything
HIV?
went. No, this episode
oh.
is about my abortion. Stop trying to make it about you. I know it's Pride Month, but Jesus Christ.
Well, I also saw Inside Out too. So maybe we could volley back and forth between your abortion and my experience at Inside Out too.
Please tell. How did it go?
It was fun. Go
Was
on.
anxiety as funny as she looks? They
Yeah,
look.
anxiety was a little shit disturber, if you can believe it.
Yeah. Was there any other emotions that came out?
Oh, ennui. And ennui was very funny.
What's on? I thought it
Ennui
was
is like
Henri.
That's French for Henry, I
No. Okay.
think. Ennui? Have you heard that term before?
I thought it was
think it's-
Henri.
You have. No, well, Henri is a word, but ennui is a different word.
I didn't know that.
I think it's like ENU. UI or something. You're a UII, and it's like that feeling of like you don't care.
Laissez-faire?
Apathetic.
Oh, okay.
Apathy. You're like,
Yeah. So could be mistaken as depression.
Yeah. But Ennui was always on their phone. They weren't really checked in, and they were very funny.
So it was a good overall experience.
I think it was better than your abortion.
I was waiting for it. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. From where I'm standing, I don't know how else to say this. I had a great abortion.
That's incredible. And what I will say is, I wish more of the kids in my theater had been aborted. Go on. What?
No, I'm glad that there's that comic
mean?
relief on this podcast.
Are people getting so mad?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Wait, okay, so first of all, it warms my fucking heart and whole to hear that you had a good abortion.
I could only imagine when you said warms my heart and whole of like you being like a baby bottle that needs to be heated up before you put the milk in it. And so I just imagine your butthole being put inside of a microwave, but only microwave for like 15 seconds just to get it like cozy enough to stick it back on your ass.
You know what? We all saw that TikTok trend that I loved, and we will get to your abortion in a second, where the person turns on the seat warmer and he goes, just heating up dinner.
What?
The guy driving turns on the seat warmer, goes, just heating up dinner.
My ass.
Yeah.
I did not see that one.
Oh, really? Oh my God.
The one that I have been seeing that
Gay culture.
I have no idea how I feel about it is girls are filming them telling their boyfriends, they're like, okay, you get to use the word bitch at me one time, however you want. So go ahead. Like, and we're going to, like, they film it. And some guys are really funny. Like, they can't do it. They're like, all right, you dumb I can't do it. And some are like, all right, stop being a fucking like none of them can do it. And then some of them be taking a whole ass liberty.
Oh no.
They're like, you dumb fucking bitch, you dumb cunt, you asshole, you so stupid.
They're like,
And the girl, and so people are like stitching those ones, being like, break up with him.
Yeah.
If he does this trend and he goes off the handle, break up with him.
This is a test for like if you're a good dude.
Yeah. It's giving bare man words answer, but like IRL live responses.
Because it's like, because the answer is, she's like, you can use the word bitch once. He's like, I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm wet.
Yeah.
You know?
And I would be if I had a functioning vagina.
Mine's back to normal. Just kidding. I can't have sex for 2 weeks. It's
Really?
Yeah.
Is there like police caution tape down there?
Yeah, no, it's sealed. They put resin right down the middle. It's really hard. It's actually more of like a scissor, like a ribboning open day cut.
Oh,
yeah.
We're going to plant a tree in it when she's...
Okay, wait. Okay, let me, because I have a lot of good things I want to say. So we have to start somewhere, right? Okay, so day of a bore. We know it's coming. I was having sex all the way up until like 2 days before. And then Athlete and I looked at the paper and it's like, don't have sex within 2 weeks. And I'm like, why did nobody tell me this? Why
Well,
didn't
they
nobody
gave
tell
you a
me
piece
this?
of paper that said it.
But they gave me the piece of paper like 3 days before the bore. No one told me I shouldn't be, whatever.
Then it must be one of those.
Don't lift heavy objects after.
Don't
sit.
mix medicine with alcohol.
Driving. Yeah. Well, it's like, okay, we all know. It just makes it more fun. So the night before, I had made like a checklist of everything I thought I might need, and just for those who maybe didn't listen to the first episode, I was doing the DNE,
drag them,
the dilate and evacuate, as they call it, and not the pills. And I am so glad I did.
But you can't compare it to anything because you haven't done the pills.
No, but I have only heard horror stories from my friends that have, is what I mean. Like, okay. I'm so glad I did. Got it. Like, I would still be having the abortion right now if I did the pills.
Yeah.
That's correct. Like, no, thank you.
But are the pills designed for, like, the girl on the go?
No. It's like the girl who's going to sit for 4 days.
Oh, I thought she was like, I can just take my...
No, it's like the DNE is like the girl on the go. I gotta be somewhere tomorrow.
Oh, I just assumed a pill over days was like I could go on with my life.
No, you're like not
Oh.
well.
Okay.
So the night before, I had made like a list of all the things that I feel like I might need, and number one top of the list, a Hailey Bieber smoothie from Erewhon.
Really?
That was what I wanted.
After.
Yeah. I would have liked before, but here's the fucking kicker. My surgery wasn't scheduled till 1 p.m.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to eat when you're going under anesthesia.
Yeah, because you might poop yourself.
So I had the biggest fucking taco dinner of my life. That's not true. You might asphyxiate yourself when you're in surgery.
Because of food? Because
Yeah.
of the Hailey Bieber smoothie?
What do you think you can't eat before?
I might like let go of my bowels.
No.
Wait, okay.
You can choke.
On what?
Your fucking food. If you start to puke or if they have to intubate you or
Why
do
would
something.
I puke?
Because some people react weird to anesthesia. There's complications all the time.
Huh. I feel like I could eat.
Don't Google
and
it.
go under and be fine.
Bro, I did not eat. I had the biggest taco dinner and then I did not eat. I slept in as late as I could.
Yeah.
So I basically got up, put on something really comfy because I knew having like a tight waistband was not going to feel good. I got my book and
What book of that one?
no, I'm reading currently the Hail Mary Project, which is very good. It's a sci-fi, which I have zero interest in, but this is like incredible. And apparently they're making it into a movie with Ryan Gosling.
What made you want to read it if you don't like
I've
sci-fi?
heard really good reviews about
Really?
it.
Is it a new book?
I don't think so.
The Hail Mary Project?
Yeah, by Andy Weir. He's the same guy who wrote The Martian, the movie.
I didn't like that. Andy, if you're listening, back to the drawing board, babe.
This one's really fucking good. Anyway, here's the kicker. Remember how I told you they sent me a little piece of paper with information on it?
That said, don't have sex for 3
Yeah,
weeks.
it also had all this other information on it. Neither of us brought it to the aborboard. So we literally only had the address and no suite number. And it's one of those
Oh.
huge medical buildings.
Oh,
So we show
no.
up 20 minutes late.
You just had to knock on every door. Like, can you abort my fetus?
Yes,
Can you
literally.
abort my fetus?
I was
Like, we're a dental hygienist.
I was like, you got
office.
laughing gas? Let's do this.
You got a water pick, honey?
You got a suction cup? I know you do. What's that thing you put in the side of my mouth? Just fucking. That's
Stick
basically
it up
what
there.
it is.
That's crazy.
So, and you know me, there's nothing I hate more than being late. Like I am
Really?
such.
I feel like you're late all the time.
I'm never late. I'm arguably early.
Tiana, can you weigh in here?
I'm always
Oh.
on time, and it anxieties me to my core.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm worked the fuck up. We
I
finally
bet.
get there because you have to go back in the little room, get your IV and shit, and that always takes a little bit of time. So I was like, oh my god, what if they can't do it? I'm leaving for New York in 2 days. Blah, 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 blah. So we get to the office, we sit down. It's like, your breath stinks really bad, and I'm like, well, fuck. I was like, I was just running. I had my mouth open, like. I was like, let me have your gum. Let me just like chew it for a second. So I like chew gum. They call my name. And I'm like, oh, okay, bye. And as I'm walking back, the nurse goes, oh no. And I go, what? She goes, are you chewing gum? And I go, yeah. She goes, spit that out right now. Don't tell the anesthesiologist.
That counts as food?
That counts as fucking food.
Okay, how are you going to choke on gum flavor?
Because I don't know.
There's something fishy up with this anesthesia food thing.
I don't know, man.
Don't
Point
Google
is-
it. I'm gonna. Gum is not food. And if I saw that, I would be livid.
I have a feeling it's not just solid. I think you're not allowed to have liquid either because they don't want you to asphyxiate. So I think chewing gum technically makes a lot of saliva. Whatever.
That goes up there with the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
So I'm late. I got nervous because I have fucking gum in my mouth. I get back to the little room. Guess what? I have a nurse it's like her second day.
No.
So she has another nurse who's like doing everything with her, like, oh, make sure you ask this, like, da 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 da. And I'm like, oh my God, y'all, just put it in me. Bruh. She puts in the IV. Trigger warning, if you don't like blood, you're not going to like this.
No.
She puts in that fucking IV and the little like thing that is the needle, like the back clicks off.
And the blood goes shooting.
Shooting spouts. It is like a hot spout down my arm.
Yeah, they've tapped into a
Yes.
vein.
But bro, I did not know blood gushed like this.
Do you know how much pressure there is like in here?
I don't know why, like in movies, it takes like a long time for someone to like bleed out and they get to have a whole monologue about it. This, I was ready to bleed out. I was done.
Well, it's a tiny hole.
It sure fucking wasn't coming out of my arm. This thing was pouring. So she's like, Melinda, can you help me in here? And Melinda's nowhere to be seen.
No.
So fucking, my arm has got blood all over it. My fucking gown has got blood over it. The blanket's got blood all over it. Anyway, the nurse like comes in and like just ties me up, sucks me up, and just like
puts the gum in the hole.
plugs my holes, and that was a problem in the first place. Is why I was here.
I was gonna say, when you said put it in me, I was like, this is how we got here in the first place.
So I'm like, and dude, I felt so bad because she was like, I'm so sorry. I'm
the trainee or the regular?
Trainee. The regular acts like this happens all the time. She was over it. She was just like, here you go, bitch.
Did you get like a gift card or anything?
But I did have to change like my blankies and all that jazz because it looked insane. Like, I can't imagine what my doctor would have said if she walked in and was like, why is the patient covered in blood?
Did you guys attempt the abortion without me?
From her pussy. What is happening? And I felt so bad because it didn't hurt or anything. I just felt so bad for her. So my doctor comes in, love her.
Best friend.
We fucking love her.
This fucking gynecologist.
My girl, my fucking bitch. I love her. So she goes over everything with me. So thorough. The funniest part is like when they're doing all your paperwork and they're like name, birth date, making sure they got the right person they're about to put under. They're like, and what is your understanding of why you're here today?
Oh, not a last minute pop quiz.
And I was like, life finds a way. Like, I didn't know what they wanted me to say. Like, why am I here today?
They're like, actually, life is not finding a way right now.
It's finding a way out.
Yeah.
So I was like, I guess the abort. Like, I didn't know what the fuck to say. It was so...
Is it that thing where you have to confirm,
Yes.
like, for the 8th time that you do want an abortion?
I genuinely think this is something that they do at every hospital anytime someone goes under. Also, there's a huge fly in here, and it is...
I know. I feel like it's Tiana's job to get rid of it.
Good luck. Have fun chasing that fly around the room.
One time have you guys ever had a swarm of flies?
No.
Basically, like a nest of eggs hatches at once, and you'll have like 40 flies.
Wow, too soon. A nest of egg hatches.
Okay. But I just went around my house with a can of Raid, like hunting flies.
Oh, that's a good idea. Spray a little spritz, let it fly into the arc.
Yeah.
Die slow death.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway.
Okay, so yes, they're like, great. And the anesthesiologist was like a couldn't be bothered blonde gay man.
Fuck, it was me.
It literally was like you 20 years from now, maybe even 10. He was kind of young. No, he was young.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you for walking that back.
You're welcome. And he could not be bothered. He's like, hello, I'm Johnny Appleseed. This is your great.
Okay, wait. That didn't sound like a gay person, first of all.
Hey, it's Johnny Appleseed. Let's go.
Why Johnny
I don't know. And he's like, okay, here comes the talking juice, where I guess it's like your calm down juice, where they like hit you before you go under.
Okay.
And my doctor just goes, oh, that's not going to change a thing about her.
The shade. Okay, maybe she is her best friend.
And I start laughing, and I'm like, girl, these drugs ain't going to do nothing to me. And I'm just tight, and they're wheeling me back, and I'm flailing my arms all around, and my doctor's going, see, I told you.
Wait, so to be clear, people are like tight-lipped until they get this drug, and then they start talking.
Yes, and then people are like, oh,
and you on the other side
God.
are like just talking. It slows a little, like and then
yes. And so they push me back into the OR room, and I'm like, oh my God, everything's so shiny. And I was like, you guys are lucky I'm not hitting on all of you, because every time I've gone under anesthesia, I'm hitting on everybody, and they're like, well, there's still time. And I'm like, okay, let's open up this door.
You're flirting.
I start literally hitting on everybody in the room. And how funny is this? This I thought was so cute. I've never had this happen before. And chime in if you're a doctor who listens to this podcast. Maybe this is a normal thing you guys do. I've been under a million times. No doctor has ever held my hand while I went under. And Dr. V just goes, let me hold your hand. And she just holds my hand. And I went, oh my God. She's so nice. Isn't she?
Yeah.
Out like a fucking light,
Well,
bro.
I feel like the hand holding is like an abortion thing.
You think?
Yeah.
Maybe it's an abortion thing. I thought maybe it's like you can tell when they're out because they'll just be like, ugh.
Oh, that could be. I just know when I got my colonoscopy, the doctor did not hold my hand, despite me trying.
You're reaching. They're like, please, sir, there's a tube up your asshole. Stop pulling on the cords. So I out like a light, baby. And apparently the procedure is like a whole 10 minutes.
Wow.
So she uses a, I don't know if the word's ultrasound or a sonogram. Is a sonogram something that an ultrasound comes from?
No one knows.
I think a sonogram is something an ultrasound comes from. I hope. And so she uses two hands. She's basically like in there with a camera.
Okay. Oh,
which she's watching the screen.
The baby's hiding.
Not hiding.
It's like a scary movie.
You just can't open it and see it. So she's got to have a camera. She's got to know where it is.
Sure. I'm getting Blair Witch vibes though.
What?
And then the baby's like standing in the corner of your uterus.
Don't touch me. It's running back and forth.
That's
She's
what
like,
I'm saying. Yeah.
slow down. She's just chasing it with a giant vacuum. Christ. So basically, I wake up. And
Good. I'm glad, by the way.
Yeah, thank God. I wake up and my first thought is, where am I?
Really?
I was so gone. And then my second thought was, no more baby.
Really?
It gone. That was I like immediately knew. I was like, no more. It gone. They got it all. It's out.
Kind of like after the final exorcism, like the sun comes out and the birds start chirping.
That's exactly what it felt like. It felt like a new spring day. Best part, had a hot fucking recovery nurse.
Girl or boy?
Boy. Nice. He walks over to me and I went,
nurse scrubs.
I had my eyes closed and I said, oh, I saw you when I walked in.
No, you didn't, Kelsey.
And I said,
that is psychotic.
I said, when I saw you when I walked in, and I said, that's an attractive man. Out for 30 more minutes. I fall asleep. He wakes me back up. He's presented me with 10 snacks. And he said, I brought all of them for you. I said, oh my God, thank you. And he goes, well, no, you asked for all of them.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yep. They said, what snack do you want? And I said, all of them.
Yeah, because you hadn't eaten.
Yes, I was starving. Let's go to a quick break. And when we come back, I'll tell you the rest of the story.
Oh.
So then the hot nurse gives me a pack of Chex Mix.
Wait, talk to us about the snacks. How dare
Mix.
you skip over
Pretzels.
the most important part of this
Apple
entire
juice.
story?
A Fig Newton bar. But here's the kicker.
These are all subpar snacks.
No, they were expensive. They were like a Whole Foods.
Fig Newton bars.
It was not the brand Fig Newton. It was like those fucking fancy ones.
Yeah,
the ones that are like,
still
we're just one ingredient.
still
How did we make a whole fig bar? I don't know,
yeah,
but
okay,
we're just apples.
I know what you're talking about. One ingredient.
Yes.
And you're like,
we're
congrats.
at Cedars, okay? This is fancy.
Okay.
They were like giving me extra fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? Like they were keeping me comfy.
Wow.
So here's the kicker. The nurse comes back over. I'm in a haze. I don't know what's happened, but all my snacks are pretty
haze?
much gone. And he goes, you can use your other hand, you know. And I go, what? And he goes, and he starts like laughing. And I'm like, what? And he's like, I've never seen anyone do this. You were doing the claw hand. And I go, what? And he said, I would take out the Chex Mix, go up with my hand, come over and drop it into my mouth as if I were a claw machine, like feeding a baby bird. And then I would go back under, pick up some more, and claw it into my mouth. And they're all cracking up, and I have no memory of this.
I can picture you eating that way. I actually think you do throw your head back like opening like a seagull's trap. Doesn't she? You do. You're fucking eating a whole fish.
Yeah. It was giving sardine down the
Pelican.
gullet.
Yeah.
So then I was embarrassed. I was like, this man doesn't want to fuck me. I can leave now. And so he was like, how's your pain? I was like, ooh, now that you've asked, I'm checking in. It feels like I'm cramping quite a lot.
Wait,
He
aren't
said,
male nurses gay?
feels like only you can say that.
Male nurses are gay.
Isn't that the problem? Isn't that what like Ben Stiller's character was fighting after?
He gay?
He didn't meet the fuckers.
Maybe. Sorry.
No, it's okay. So he's like, how's your pain? And
Oh, you're like, oh, it's real.
I can feel myself bleeding.
What kind of pain is it?
They put basically they like just stick a pad onto your pussy with no underwear.
Okay.
And to catch all the blood coming out. So it's like I can actively feel myself bleeding and it feels like a bad period. So I'm like, girl, she's like a 7 right now. And he's like, all right, fentanyl. So I get a dose and I'm like, bye. And it takes me another like 20 minutes. And then I come out and he's like, are you okay now? I was like, meh. And he's like, all right, one more. He pushes me one more. And then I'm like, okay, now I can feel nothing.
Pushes you one more?
Of fentanyl.
Oh my God.
So I got like 2 doses and I'm feeling nothing. And they're like, great. If you're at a 0, let's get you out of here. And I'm going, okay, let's go. So I start like packing all my shit. They close a little curtain and they're like, all right. And I'm like, bro, I am high as fuck right now. They're like, all right, get your stuff together. I like get my stuff together and then I'm like, I'm still in the gown. Like I gotta change. And then I like take off all the stuff and I see there's like, you know, kind of a lot of blood like on the area where I was. And I'm like, thank God I'm fucked up right now. That would fuck me up if I was sober. And so
I'm gonna think about this later.
Yeah, I stored it for myself. I was like, I'm gonna film this and watch it back later. I get home and what is but on my little table when I get home? Like a cruise ship, I come in and there's a little folded up towel of an elephant. It's a Zachary Noe's Towers gift basket special.
Yeah.
And Zachary Sweet No Towers said, here's a gift basket with like actual fuzz in it.
Yeah.
You know, like actual
shredded stuff
to like buffer the rockiness.
It looks like paper coleslaw.
Exactly like paper coleslaw. He gave me my favorite batch of his deviled wasabi ginger eggs.
Well, yeah.
He gave me a pack of his homemade birthday cake flavored cookies that I am obsessed with. He got me 2 packets of decor for my frosting business, which I was like, what? He really means it because he hates my addiction.
Yeah, I don't support it.
And he did.
And it's like giving like your sibling who has like a drug problem a little bit of drugs on Christmas because you're like, whatever.
You're like, it's Xanax.
Just
everyone
do
does it.
Like, it's fine.
And then also I got a card that said thank you with birthday cake. And I was like, what could this pot? I open it for aborting that baby. I got a thank you for aborting the baby card. And I think that was it. And then my sweet, sweet friend Macy, she sent me a Target bag of a long like nighty onesie with like open, you know, it's like a dress.
Okay. I thought you meant open like in the crotch.
Well, technically.
Oh, it is.
But when I put it on, I looked like a small British Victorian child, like waiting for his dad to come home from war. So I was high, dressed as a small British child.
Hello, eating cookies.
Yes, eating deviled eggs and cookies at the same time. And she also ordered me the confetti sugar cookies, those sugar cookies. That
Oh my God.
I was like, do my friends know me or do my friends fucking know me?
Yeah, we're like, we already get sugar in this bitch.
Yes. And then I had Postmated a Hailey Bieber smoothie.
Wow.
Truffle potato chips.
Wait, what is the Hailey Bieber smoothie? What's in it?
Strawberry.
Okay.
It's a lot of strawberry juice.
Okay.
And puree. And then like 700 vitamins.
Calories. Okay.
It's like coconut, fucking amino,
vitamins,
butthole acids.
Okay.
It's a lot. I did look
like
up
$20.
Yeah, and I looked up the ingredients on TikTok to see if I can make an at-home version.
And it costs like a bunch of money.
It was a lot of time.
No, things taste so much better when you don't make them. And
when you've paid $20 for them. It's the sunken cost fallacy.
No, sometimes it doesn't taste better.
This has always slapped.
This doesn't taste like $22.
Oh no, this was worth every penny.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. That's a good sign.
And so sucked that back. I watched like 6 episodes of Perfect Match, just trash Netflix show.
Cute.
And then fell asleep on the couch for like 3 hours. Woke up, Athlete had made steak dinner with mashed potatoes and roasted carrots because we figured I need iron and red meat.
Sure.
Post-surgical. And then I don't know if it was because I was feeling fine, by the way. I was still high. But when I woke up
hours later.
No. When I woke up hours later,
yeah,
I was so bloated that I looked more pregnant than when I was actually pregnant.
No.
And my gas was so bad.
From the deviled eggs.
I don't even think it could have been that fast to digest.
Are you sure? What if when she went and got the stuff out of you, she also blew some air into it?
Yeah, she was just like, dust this bitch off. Seriously, I was like, if you're going to be in there, if you see anything, do me a favor, get it out.
Yeah, yeah.
So she blew some air. Because listen, I had such bad farts that I was like keeling over in pain, like wondering if I needed to call the doctor to be like, is this normal?
When you say bad farts, you mean pain, not smell.
Yes. Well, no, both.
Okay.
Both.
Wow.
And
lucky athlete. Did you sequester yourself?
Listen, I literally asked him if he would pace the backyard with me.
While you fart?
Yes. And so
Y'all are too
held
close.
onto his back like a
and ripped him?
and was just pacing the backyard, and Hippo was following us, just doing giant circles. No joke, for about 20 minutes, Zachary, it was not enough.
No.
So what did I ask of athlete?
No, not the baby thing. Not grabbing your feet and farting you like a baby. You guys should see how hot this man is. You would be horrified that... This is why we need robots, so they can come over and fart us.
Zachary, the gas was so bad. I am wearing a long sleeve dress nighty onesie looking like a Victorian British child. I have deviled egg farts. I asked this man
to get between your legs. Let's be honest. To get a front row seat to your fucking butt opera.
I lay on my back on his bed, and I hand him
his bed.
It's downstairs.
This is a backyard activity.
I didn't want to walk upstairs.
This is an outdoors activity. You light some fucking Sentinella candles or whatever, and
Zachary, he literally takes my heels into his hands, and he just goes, "You know, I have seen you at many different stages since we've been together." And it's true. This man saw me through the second round of egg freezing hormones. He saw me through food poisoning, and now an aborboar.
And also regular Kelsey.
And regular me. And I am just laughing. But bro, when I tell you,
they got him out.
The kicks and the little pushes got them out. But it was so bad that night I had to sleep with a heated blanket like wrapped around my stomach.
Yeah, and athlete probably had to have an oxygen mask.
I'm still recovering.
Did the carbon monoxide detector go off?
It was so gnar. But then when I woke up the next day, I was totally fine.
I recently did a myobility class, like for stretching and like mobility.
Okay.
And you know those like playground size, like dodgeballs almost.
Uh-huh.
You lay on top of it, like by your groin and tummy.
Arc.
Well, you can just, if you just push into it, it made me almost fart.
Ooh, that's
just
a good
something to
hack.
consider.
Yeah.
Because then it's like pushing.
I was doing like the left and right thing. I was like, I had a squatty pie. I was trying everything, and it was uncomfortable.
Can you queef on command?
If I try, I have to kind of position my legs above my head a certain way.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I was just thinking it's kind of the same. It's got to be near the same muscles, right? To like pull in. Don't Google it.
I don't know.
Actually, treat yourself to that Google.
Yeah.
Queef/fart muscle.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It was an experience, but the next day I had blocked off my schedule to just chill because I had no idea how I was going to feel. So I just went to the pool by myself and read all day. I took Hippo to the park and just walked him and laid in the sun.
Tell us about what was the were you bleeding because of hormones activated, or was it
so
from
it's a
taking
couple
something?
things. So when you have an abortion or a miscarriage, your body understands that something has left that it was preparing every day, like sending.
And that's the shedding.
Yes. So when you have that, it's essentially a forced miscarry. So it is still emptying out like pieces of things, whether it's like uterine wall or tissue or whatever, or part of the sac and stuff. Like you're still releasing that, as well as like because you have that insane drop in hormone changes. A lot of people, the same way my egg retrieval was fine until the 2 weeks after, this is like a similar situation where I'm anticipating some kind of hormonal drop of mood. And, you know, I already started breaking out like literally the next day. Remember how nice my skin was when I was pregnant the whole time? I'm already breaking out.
But you were also nauseous like the whole time.
Yeah, I was. Oh, God,
Also, do you think Ashley Simpson's song Pieces of Me is about an abortion?
How did you think of that so fast?
All the pieces of me in the toilet. I feel like I can.
Yeah, so a shout out to Nick's, not sponsored, but I've been wearing Nick's underwear for the last 2 days, and it's so fantastic because you are bleeding, and I would never want to stick something up there.
Is Nick's for bleeding?
Yeah.
Oh, you told me this, I think. It's period underwear.
And it's really comfy and cozy and actually super cute. So I would like not be embarrassed to wear it to hook up with someone.
Nice.
Yeah, like I don't even think they would know it's period underwear. It's so cute.
Yeah, if it's a straight male, he'll definitely not know.
Yeah. But I feel like even though I'm only 2 days post abortion, I did end up telling my parents.
Oh,
which
I
was
didn't know if you were going
something-
to talk about this.
Well, I probably won't say everything that was said because
Well, right,
it's not
of
like my
course.
business. But I last episode said I still hadn't told them yet, and I was waiting till after. And so I did tell my mom first, my dad second, and I feel very like everything I thought that might have happened or they might have said didn't, and I just received like an abundance of
support
reminders that they care about me and they love me, and like they'll never judge me. And you know, it was, I think, best case scenario in my head. Even though I know my parents very well, I had still imagined like, what if they judge me or whatever. And I think they understand, because this was genuinely an accident, that they know that if you have kids, you should want to have kids.
Great.
That's it.
I wish everyone knew that.
That's like, they understand that. And when anything crosses that line, they're like, yeah, then no, it totally makes sense.
X-nay on the AB Bay.
Yeah, literally. So I told them, I feel like now talking about it, you know, I did speak about it the night before the abortion. I had to speak at a mental health convention, and I talked about it a little bit there because they asked a question about like, do you share
At
like,
the end of your speech or whatever?
Yeah, there were questions about like, is there stuff about your life you don't put out there, and da 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 da. And I was like, well, actually, I don't mind talking about this because
you're not going to tell anyone.
Yeah, and like it's coming out next week, but like I'm having my first abortion tomorrow, and like they
Standing
stopped.
ovation.
No, they fully gave me a whole clapping situation.
Oh my God.
They were like, because I was like, and I feel empowered to talk about it because abortion is healthcare. Abortion is like, we should destigmatize it. 1 in 4 women will have an abortion. Like, and they were all clapping, and I was like, oh my God, like the support I received was so quickly, and the amount of people who came up to me after and told me that they have had abortions before was like shocking. I was like, oh my God. Like, and everyone was saying like, you know, I hope it's smooth, like everything goes well. I hope you recover well. Like, thank you for talking about it. That was important and amazing. And I was like, you know what? I have been so lucky. I have been so privileged to have this be a positive experience.
Of course.
When it is not for so many people.
Literal entire states.
Yes. And if the least I can do is talk about my experience, yes, maybe with a little bit of ass backwards comedy that makes some people uncomfortable, but like,
And that's my fault.
No.
And I don't apologize, but I acknowledge.
I acknowledge, and also this is how I deal with life. This is how I've dealt with life scenarios my whole life. Is through laughter and like
Totally.
making jokes. And if I can provide that sense of release,
Levity.
yes, and levity, and like, if we do treat it as such, it won't be so fucking stigmatized. Like, people who think laughing at abortion jokes is bad is part of the problem why it's stigmatized.
Yeah.
Like even people who believe in abortion and believe in women's rights still will go like, ooh, at abortion jokes. And I'm like, you guys, that's the problem. Like if we treat it as not such a major delicate subject, you know, yes.
Forbidden.
Yes.
Topic.
You're having like surgery sometimes, or yes, you might be in a state that doesn't like, yes, absolutely acknowledging those things. But if we could at least just have the conversation without someone like wincing in the room, like that to me is.
I mean, that's my whole career with talking about sex. People don't even like talking about sex.
Wild.
So of course they don't like talking about the repercussions of sex.
Yeah.
But
I was going to do this whole thing, but I think we're going to have to save the gender health gap.
why don't we do a whole episode on the gender health gap?
I think we should.
Wait, did you get pregnant to get me closer to talking about important stuff?
On this podcast?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You fucking...
I've been discovered.
Oh, you did it.
I've been outed.
Damn.
You got my secret.
The baby didn't take your brain, honey.
No. If anything, it was a second brain
Second brain.
in there. Made me double smart.
Wow. Double smart. She's back.
She's back, ladies and gentle folks.
Single smart.
But that's it. That's the story of my abortion.
I have a feeling, okay, I would actually like to hear questions from listeners, and maybe we'll do a second episode just like doing a deeper dive on other people's experiences. Maybe we'll even Google some stuff.
Maybe.
Because I think this is like fertile ground. I do agree it's super important to talk about. Yes.
You said fertile ground.
I know. I can't believe. I guess I'm just that good.
Yeah.
But
it is important to talk about.
Yeah, and like I am intrigued by it, and as long as you guys don't care about me making jokes, I want to keep talking about it.
I only am friends with you because you keep making jokes, especially at inappropriate times.
Yeah.
This was an appropriate time though. It's a comedy podcast. Yeah, definitely leave questions. I'm sure we'll take some from last week's episode too. So if you haven't listened to that, go ahead, go forth, go back, go play.
Oh yeah, about pregnancy. How do you do it?
How does it work?
How do you stop it?
How do you make it go away?
Yeah, and what season is best to get fucked in?
Yeah, Zach knows all the answers to these things now that this podcast is so educational.
Yes.
You have anything to promote?
Listen to my other podcast, After Hours with Zach Nui Towers, if you like talking about sex.
There you go. And you know what? I'll make a cake for you. I got a couple of custom orders this last week, and it's been a journey. Caked up by Kelsey on Etsy.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, support your local abortion clinics, and we will see you next week. Bye.